this is Jossie in the Transgender Effect, and once again, my best friend Denise is here.
Hi guys.
So we're gonna be talking today about how was her coming out, how difficult has been her transition, and just giving an overall perspective from a different point of view, because you guys know like how I came out and stuff like that. So Denise, so you said like on the previous video, like you came out like around 11?
Well, I had two coming outs. Obviously, my first one was as gay when I was presenting as a boy. I was 11 or 12, and that's when I pretty much said I like boys, I'm not into girls, I'm gay, whatnot. And then the second coming out was me coming to terms with the fact that I wanted to be a girl. At the time I cannot remember if I was 15 or 16. I met another trans woman who was my brother's best friend's sister. Me and her became friends. And so basically when I saw her, I saw a reflection of what I wanted to be. And so, which I already knew I wanted to be a girl. I kind of already knew that it was gonna happen. I just had never met somebody who really, I could say I wanted to identify as, or I can identify with. I had met drag queens before, and I just didn't see myself as that. For some reason, even as a little kid, I could not really relate to that, and that's even just visually, that's not what I wanted to be. And so when I met this individual, I was like, cool, you know, they're healthy, they're happy, they're older, they're, you know, self-sufficient. So I was like, oh my God, it was just a very sobering moment to be like, oh my God, this is really possible.
Did you like what was the worst part when you told your family? What was the worst part of it?
You know, the funny part is that my family, when I came out as gay, didn't really, they had more of an issue with that, and I think it was more so my age. And at the time I was kind of a rebellious kid, so they thought to themselves,
it's 12, a face?
Yeah, well no, not really so much that, but 12-year-old gay kid has access to the internet, because that's when like AOL chat rooms were starting up and all of these things. So I think my mom was more so worried about that than anything else, just because I was so young. But then when the time came around for me to want to transition, at that point, you know, I think they were comfortable with me being gay, so anything after that wasn't really that big of a deal. And so the moment when I came out to my mom for the first time was because I already had plans of going out one night with a friend of mine dressed as a girl. And so I kind of ran it by my mom, and I told my mom, hey, you know, I'm thinking of going out this weekend with some friends dressed as a girl. And my mom was like, oh my God, you know, we were in her bedroom, and she's like, lock the door, and she opened up her closet door and let me started trying on her clothing. So
that's so
yeah,
cool.
It was definitely not hard coming out as trans for me personally, at least not the coming out part of, hey, I want to be trans. I mean, there were events after that were pretty difficult.
So what is it? So your mom. So you told your mom. Your mom was okay with it. How about your dad?
My dad. So I've had a relationship with my dad that's been kind of rocky for a while. Previous to that, not really. Me and my dad were okay. We were never really particularly close. My dad was just always busy providing. We didn't have a very close, intimate relationship, which was normal, I guess, at the time. When I came out as trans, I actually stopped speaking to him for about 8 months without explanation. I didn't live with my dad at the time. So when Father's Day rolled around months and months later, after I had already gone full-time and started actually transitioning and presenting as myself all the time, I messaged my dad, and I pretty much said, hey, I want to come and bring you a gift for Father's Day, but there's something I have to tell you. And so through text message, I actually pretty much told my dad, or I don't remember if it was text message or a phone call, but I pretty much told my dad that I wanted to go and see him, but I was dressed as a girl. I had decided to transition, and my dad really didn't make an issue of it. So I went to go see him. It was on a Sunday night, and I remember it clearly, and it was a little bit awkward. He definitely didn't seem to have any reservation about it or any rebuttal to my newfound identity, but it was very much so surprising.
So, okay, Denise's parents are actually, are they both Hispanic?
Yes.
Okay. So, in how old were they? Like about like what ages were they when you came out?
So this was 11,
Like,
10 or 11 years ago. So my dad was, I would say 65. My mom was 55, around that area, around that age.
So when you came out, it was 2007?
Yes.
2007?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was already like something happening, and so I guess that they actually lived the gay movement.
Yes.
When it started.
Yeah.
Okay. The sexual revolution.
Yeah. When I came out as gay, again going back to that, my mom had kind of an issue with it just because she didn't know what my life would be like. She was definitely not bothered at the fact afterward. My mom was always very fond of gay people in general. She just thought that they were like the cutest little things ever.
Little did she know.
Yeah, so she didn't really have an issue after the initial shock, because my mom did cry for like a week after I told her, after my sister told her that I was gay. It's a really crazy story. I at the time had a fake ID when it was just so much was going on. There's a huge story behind that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, one day I'll make a video on my channel about it, but so my mom was pretty much just worried more about my safety than anything else. And then again, going to the transitioning part, she really had no issue, but she also didn't know what it would entail. So I think a lot of parents have that confusion. They don't know what to expect. They're scared more for us than anything.
Right.
But at the same
security.
time, yeah. But at the same time, I wish that most parents would, instead of being afraid and rejecting,
they would be more accepting, and they're like trying to make it easier on them, because
make it a learning experience for both. I mean, when you transition, your family has to transition with you.
Yes.
It's a very hard process.
And I think that's actually key to understand as a trans person, whether you're male to female or female to male, to remember that it is not just you, it is your family, your friends, and the people that you work with, or the people that you go to school with. They have to see you. They have to experience those things from an outside perspective, obviously, and patience is key. Like it actually I guess that I might have to say, like, but that at the end, do you think it's actually worth it, being patient with everybody around you, that actually, like, so you can present yourself, like, this is me? And
well, I think you have to be patient, because these people know you for, in some cases, 20 years, 40 years, 15 years as who you were, and it's not easy to overnight just completely change your perception of someone. And I know that a lot of trans people say, like, I'm still the same person, my personality is the same, my soul is the same, but you guys, the visual aspect of someone's presentation makes a humongous mental difference in how you perceive them. And so, I mean, just imagine, for example, if my mom, I always use that example for myself and for other people, but if my mom were to tell me, hey, I have something to tell you, I really feel like I'm a man and I'm gonna start transitioning, that would fucking knock my socks off. And even though I would accept it and embrace it, it would still take me a while to fully comprehend and understand and to get used to this new person that I'm gonna have to start meeting kind of all over again. So, because your parents, your friends, your family members, everybody, they think that they know you inside and out.
Right.
And when you kind of
Drop the bomb.
and open the door to all these feelings that you yourself have been holding in, you need to let them learn that aspect as well, because you pretty much just dropped a huge bomb on them, and it's kind of like getting to know a new person all over again.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely really hard.
And so after all this, when for example you see, well, I mean, you pretty much experienced my transition.
Yeah.
And so what are the things that you actually saw that there was a like? Do you think that I had it difficult, or do you think that I had it like fairly easy? Let's just talk honestly.
I think you had it easier than most people. And I think you had it easier for various reasons. First of all, the physical aspect. People say that it's not very important to pass or whatnot, but I think that the way that you look makes it easier for people to really take you in and say, this person is a woman. It's awful, and it's not, I wish it was different, but unfortunately, a lot of the time I think the physical aspect is huge. And I think that the more, female that somebody looks, quote unquote, it is easier for people to just get on board with it. Unfortunately, I wish it was different, but the mental, like I said, someone's mental, visual, presentation has a lot to do with that. And I've seen it with so many of my friends and so many other trans women. And I've seen the differences as well. So in their experiences.
You met me when I had my hair like about this long, right?
No, you already had your hair long.
No, it was like this, right? I think it was like about. Like I actually like I
think your hair was long already, like very long.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, I don't remember. Well, then I don't know. But going back to your experience, I don't think that you had it as difficult. Another thing that I will say, I know you don't want to reveal your age, but I think that the older that somebody is, I think it oftentimes can be harder because you've established your life as a person for so many years. But you also have a knowledge and an understanding of people, of society, of what to expect, of what's to come. You have more knowledge to get resources, to look for different support in different ways. When you're 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, you don't know how to reach out for emotional support. And you feel you feel like nobody really understands you. And so you go through all of these situations kind of by yourself. And I know that trans people in general do that as well. It doesn't matter what age you are. But what I've noticed with friends that are a little bit older, that transition older, is that it's easier for them to seek out whatever it is that they feel that they need.
That's very true.
To look for it.
Because like when I was when I knew I was gonna transition, so I decided to go ahead and start looking for friendships.
Yeah.
And within the community, I started to befriending on Facebook people that would go to a specific place. And so I started befriending people, and so then when I was able to actually meet them in public, it was like, hey, this is Jossie, and even though you thought I was a weirdo, but it actually helped out. But like after that, I knew that if I needed to have a basic support, just in case my family will just drop me out and like let me to rot,
Yeah.
Which actually denotes a little bit of maturity in some situation. I didn't have any money for any surgeries at all.
Yeah.
So for a long time I was wearing breast forms, and I was not really ashamed of it. Uh, and I knew I wanted to transition with hormones, just because I didn't have any any money for
Yeah.
it. So I guess that but I obviously, I mean, the way that I see you, I mean, you have taught me so much more by just hanging out with me and being able to just share experiences. When I'm troubled, I also reached out. Um, and sometimes I have my downs, like yesterday.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna talk about that later. But it is very is very important for you people to actually like get in contact with somebody, even though if it is not your own age, somebody that is actually sane, which it actually again.
Wow.
But it is a
If I'm the best candidate for that, I don't know. Maybe we should start speaking out other.
well, I guess it was like, I mean, I guess that we paired out too, though.
That's true.
But it's somebody like it's very important for you to actually have a friend that actually is able to and not only just being there for you or to get you like some hints here and there, because for a long time we didn't hang out. We only just will see each other like at this other place, and
Yeah.
which I don't want to say the name of it, but yeah.
It was a bar for people like us.
Yes. So yeah, and it was it is very important to get that particular support. Because I didn't know how my family was going to react. I didn't know like it was going to be like that easy. That it was going to be a breeze.
I remember the first sexual situation of coming out that I saw you go through was with your sister. So that was at the beginning of our friendship that you had came out to her, and so I saw that entire thing kind of unfold, and yeah, it was just, I mean, I had to go through that myself, so it was very easy to relate to those feelings and to see that happen. I mean, I have 5 siblings, so I went through that 5 different times.
5 different times.
Yeah, so definitely I can relate.
So stay tuned, guys. We're gonna make another video. So this has, I know there's a lot of information out there. I want to use her like as much as I can to make videos that I want to make with her, and but obviously time frame is, please bear with us, and we'll have some other different issues to talk about, and I'll be uploading this, like, just stay tuned. In the meantime, keep on smiling, and I see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.